I found all these amazing doilies. And you know, I really believe that this is an art that's dying. Isn't this amazing that like our grandparents, mostly grandmothers, actually would sit and make these and crochet these while they're watching TV? Well, anyways, what I've done in the past is I have done some dresses and different things out of these doilies. And you know, I'm going to Art Basel. I'm doing a show in Art Basel. Well, I'm not doing a show, but I'm doing, anyways, it's complicated. Dress, but you know, I have done dresses before out of this. So what I've also done is I've sewn them together, and that's what I'm going to do. By the way, you can see how it really helps to have a dress form. You can pin and just start to really feel like, okay, how am I going to like this? Or, you know, you can get a feeling for it. There's no way you can actually do this flat and improve what you're doing if you can get one. It doesn't have to be a fancy one. Just start visualizing it on a body. And that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just start attaching these together, sort of somewhat on the edge. So where do I get these? Well, there's some rag houses I go to. What's a rag house? Well, a rag house is where it's several different levels down, because they pick through and they sort things out. The particular one I go to, they sort things out in these giant bins. And so for instance, they have all the smaller crochet and lace pieces in one bin, and the bigger ones, like the blankets, in another. So, and got really everything that was colorful. I wanted the color. Here we go. So I'm just sewing it so that it will be a big one, so then I can cut a pattern out of it. So you might say, like, well, how do you know like what colors to use, or do you make a plan about what goes with what and how it goes? Well, something like this, you know, it would take you so much time to plan these out beforehand. Now, maybe that's the type of designer you are. If you are, go right ahead. For me, what I find is sometimes, I'm going to sew this one down here. Sometimes when I plan too much, it takes really the spontaneity of the art out. And this is, there's no right or wrong way. Like, maybe you want to do all the greens. I don't know. Maybe you want to do all the blues together. You know, if that's what your aesthetic, you know, like if that's what your eye sees and that's what your eye wants to do, well, then that's exactly what you should do. Don't do it my way. But I would say, like, there's so many roadblocks that we put up for ourselves to stop us from doing what it is we say we want to do. So I notice when that kind of friction happens, and I try to push through it by cutting that thing that I think, should I cut that? Like, by just doing the thing, because you know, you can always go back. I mean, if I cut this and I can never get another one of these again, I mean, it's just not the end of the world. All right, so it's better to keep moving and stay in action in your art. Okay, so here we are, and this is, okay, so I know I want this side to be a sleeve, and then I'm going to do like this side as a sleeve. So I may have to add something somewhere, but I'm not using a pattern. I'm just going to kind of wing it, and I would say part of that is the confidence I have about winging it is from experience. So I have made lots of mistakes to earn this confidence. Now, it kind of kills me to cut some of this, to be honest, but I'm just going to do it because that's what I'm going to do. That's what I do. This is part of what I do, and that's it. So listen, what I would say is, if I'm making this because I want to wear it, and that for me is amazing, because I know for a fact when I'm creating something, if I say in my mind, if I make it like, oh my God, this one's mine, I'm not selling it, I know that one has the magic on it. If I'm just kind of going through the motions and, oh yeah, I'm doing another one of these, for me, for my business, my experience, that doesn't have that secret sauce on there. It may sell, but why not make something that you're really in love with? Like, it's not always about making something to sell. It's about how this present moment that I'm in creating is all there really is the magic of what being a creative person is. So I want to be loving every minute of it. And if I'm not, I shouldn't, I just think I should pass. Now, it is kind of like, there's a piece here I love that is going to get cut. But I have more of this, so I can just, in the future, I can add to it. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to cut it. Now I'm going to find my good scissors, which are here somewhere. And I'm going to cut it. And then we'll see what's next. And so I think, you just have to go for it. And sometimes if there's mistakes, like, I'm sorry I'm cutting this one right now because it's so pretty. But sometimes if you do make a mistake, the magic will happen in the mistakes too. But also just, you're going to learn when you make a mistake. And then learning, you won't make that mistake again. So here, like I said, I did make something similar to this for a fashion show. I did, and I sold it right away. And I hadn't found very many of these until just recently. So I knew that I wanted one for me. And so now I just cut that. So here we have this kind of shape. So I will be cutting a neck. And then I think I'm probably going to add a couple doilies right here. And this is really fun because you can wear it either way. And it's artistic and fun. And